as hell didn't go into the poor's pocket. Then we got this welfare problem. Everybody's mad at welfare recipients. Well, the government wants to give a minimum, amount of pay to everybody and put us on permanent welfare. Yeah, I'm against that. I'm against anything that is just feeding the problem. That's what we're talking about here. I'm for getting to the bottom of the problem. Okay, if it would be dramatically cheaper, and this is one of the things Donald Trump, I'm sure he has stumbled upon. He's a smart guy. He knows the things that I'm saying are true. He knows that when Section 8 is out there subsidizing rental costs for people, that this just has the opposite effect on solving the problem. The opposite. It exacerbates the daylights out of the problem. If you want the problem fixed, pay to get the problem fixed. Don't pay to supplement the problem and sustain the problem and perpetuate the problem. Make the problem flourish, exacerbate the problem. That's what's going on here, folks. Okay, if you want to end homelessness, buy people housing. You're done and done, man. That's it. Deal is over. That's it. You're on your own. You got to pay to fix it yourself. Okay, now Section 8's got to pay this kind of stuff. And the landlord said, well, I got to raise my rent to pay it, right? So everybody's a special interest group now, just looking after their own behind. All these people working in the social welfare system, I mean, we need these things. We need the food stamps. We need the Section 8 for now. So I'm not saying pull the rug out from anybody. Could you imagine if Social Security disappeared? How would the economy benefit? Tell me. In any way, if they just disappeared tomorrow. No, this has got to be gradually done through true capitalism. True capitalism is used as a means to an end because that's what it brings you. If it's truly supply and demand capitalism, okay, that's where it leads. That's why it's such a threat to the establishment. It frees you because progress dictates that your currency continually increase in worth. And anybody with two brain cells to rub together can figure out where that leads. It leads to a place where we're not even caring about money. We're all working. We're all serving each other of our own free will and accord. The only way it should be. Our God-given conscience should suffice. It's enough for me to serve you. Okay, if it's not enough for you to serve me, then I'm sorry. We're going to different places from here. But I'm ready. I'm saying, God, yes, let's see it. I'll lay all my cards on the table here. This is God's planet, so it's your planet. It's my planet. It's our planet. We're born unthinkably wealthy. That's our new paradigm. That's going to be our new reality someday here on Earth once the renewal of all things takes place. That's what's coming. So I hope Trump is a precursor. And I hope he is the biggest threat and a very real threat to the establishmentarians, those deliberate deceivers out there. I believe they are, okay? The witting ones, the ones that know better, and they think they're so damn smart because they're evil, because they're willing to commit murder on any scale, grand scale, medium scale, minor scale, whatever it takes to keep in their position of power. It means being right up in there with the money printing class. All these political class sycophants, these starry-eyed sycophants, your local politician, having dreams of being one of the Congress or Senate or governor, whatever it is, president, whatever their starry-eyed sycophantic little hearts want, right? Okay, I'm sick of these people. They make me want to vomit, but this is the whole class. These elitists, okay? If you are not an egalitarian, you are not a good American. You don't believe in equality. Okay, and there's no in between. It's like being a little bit pregnant. You are or you're not. So you are either an egalitarian, okay, wherever you are in the world, you're either a good American at heart. You prescribe that philosophy of freedom and liberty and justice for all. The right to pursue happiness, all this kind of stuff. Or you are by default an elitist. Okay, and there's no big and little elitist. Once you fall into that group of elitism, believing in inequality, un-Americanism, then you get lumped together with all those people. Okay, that's it. You say, I prescribe to it. So now you become the new judge, jury, and executioner of how far we should take elitism. It doesn't work that way. Okay, no, you're going to be dictated to by the worst elitists. That's who's going to be running your life in hell. Okay, these were the ones, hey, sorry, man, you bought that philosophy that it's okay to discriminate against people for any reason when it isn't. Even if you believe them to be evil, you have to give them the same rights that you want, even though you're the most righteous. It doesn't matter. So you understand now why this thing is such a threat to these people. Okay? Why it is? Because it's a means to an end. And the last thing they want is to be rendered irrelevant. And that's how they would be rendered irrelevant, because your currency is worth so much. We don't care about currency anymore. You got a few pennies in your pocket and you're a billionaire. You're rich. Okay, that's the reality we could have right now. Understand that. That is not far-fetched. That is not overly idealistic. Idealistic, yes. But that's what we're called on to be. That's what your Bible says. The scriptures. That's what all the faithful teachings, it's all about, finding this paradise, this heaven, this utopia. That's what it's all about. It's about not compromising, not settling for anything less than that. And what's your reason? How are you going to stand before God and say, well, I rationalized and I compromised because, I was a little more pragmatic than that guy. I had a little more common sense and, no. It's not going to fly. We've all got to be on that path to perfection in our philosophy. That's it. That's it. That's the greatest joy I get is by just knowing the difference between right and wrong. And that's all I'm saying here. It's right to believe in equality. It's wrong to believe in inequality. So now I think I've explained why capitalism is such a big threat. But I also, I want to make it clear to everyone that it can work, but they do not want it to work. The last thing these people want is for problems to start drying up. And they would start drying up immediately if we dried up poverty. Is it going to help to just yank away food stamps, like ripping off? Well, let's really rip off that bit. Maybe it would if we did it all at once. Get rid of all the Social Security. Once somebody spends the amount that they paid into Social Security, that's it, you're done. So that means your grandma, you'll be supporting her, remember. Just think how that would affect the economy. All that money that's going into the economy, the food stamps, all that food that couldn't be bought. That's helping the farmers, helping the people that work in the factories and the grocery stores. If you just took that away right now, how would that affect everybody? Do you understand how this thing works? So what you need to do is understand what you're after, what you want to see. The evidence that things are getting better is your currency is increasing in worth in the aggregate. That's the mix. Okay, my money went up, in worth. My money, it doubled it gasoline. I mean, when George Bush was in office, gas was almost up to $5 a gallon. Some places in California, it was over $5 a gallon. So, that's progress to me, economic progress. My gasoline dollars are worth a lot more than they were 8 years ago. Okay, yeah, well, that's true. And look at your VCR dollars. They've gone up dramatically in worth. And a lot of other things have done that too. But in the overall aggregate, no. Whenever you include things like energy costs, housing, food, the things you can't get away from, okay, your dollar has fallen through the floor. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. That's what people have to understand. When we start getting into a discussion about how bad it is to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour, my God, what is that worth relative to minimum wage 50 years ago when minimum wage was about $1.50 an hour? Okay, the worth of that $1.50 an hour, well, your wife could stay home. You could earn a decent, respectable income that afforded you dignity. Okay, you could support the whole family, buy a house. Yes, pay the mortgage on your house anywhere in the freaking country. Do you understand now how far we have fallen? What's it going to take now? Will $15 an hour do it? Ha! Do you know a bus driver in San Francisco making over $100,000 a year? How much is that an hour? Okay, you do the math. I don't, but I'll tell you what, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, an 8-hour day, 40-hour week, over $100,000 a year, and they cannot afford to be a homeowner. You will not qualify to purchase a home in San Francisco making over $100,000 a year. Do you understand? And what it was like 50 years ago at $1.50 an hour, and yes, you could buy a home for less than 10 grand. How would you like that? Yeah. And it should have gotten better. If we had made any progress, it'd be less than that now. So do you think I'm talking Keynesianism here, or at least money printing Keynesianism? No. I'm talking about Keynesianism in the terms of cash flow, the velocity of currency, making everybody feel secure so we're not afraid to spend money, right? Isn't that the case? If people get insecure, the rich start first. They're the most shrewd. They're the ones that have been able to keep the most, save the most, right? So they get insecure, and so that money starts getting stifled. It's not flowing. Everybody starts getting stifled. Then the upper middle class, they start tightening their purse strings. Then the middle class, and then where does it lead? Do you understand what these people are doing to us? So not only is there less currency available out there, but it's worth less. So it's a double whammy. They're going to get us. They're after all of us. They want communism. They are fascist, and that's what they are doing. Be very clear. Make no bones about it. I'm very clear, and I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm very interested in this subject. I'm one of these guys that likes to keep things simple and just get to the bottom of things. Say, look, if there's a solution, I want to know, and if there's not, I want to know why there's not a solution. And I found out those things. I discovered why the problems aren't solved, because they do not want them solved. They love the crime, even though it costs society phenomenally more than just ending poverty. Okay, just saying, well, let's allow capitalism, true capitalism, to work. Let's see your currency continue to go up in worth. You're not going to see people getting financially desperate. They're going to be more and more secure. Do you understand? And when they have that sense of security and prosperity and freedom, all these things go hand in glove, hand in hand. Imagine that. Crime plummeting overnight from these policies, sound economic policy. If Donald Trump allows this to happen, that's what we'll have. But I'm telling you, it's a precursor to the return of Jesus. If they allow this to happen, if he's for real, and he does implement policies, sound economic policies that allow true capitalism to work, this is what's going to happen. Imagine how good that would feel. Not only is your currency going up in worth, but it's all over the place, man. It's just flowing, man. It's just everybody's feeling secure. The rich let loose. The middle class let loose. We all let loose, man. And we just get more and more and more, and we realize it still works. We still serve each other. The status quo had nothing to worry about. All along they could have servants. All along they could have people doing things for them, but on a much better terms. Instead of sucking lemons, they were doing it with a song on in their heart, a song on their lips, joy in their hearts, a spring in their step when they served you, as opposed to how it is now. It's like coerce. You better get your butt to work, no matter what, rain, sleet, or snow, man. You got to pay that rent. You don't pay that rent, you're going to be living under that bridge. You're going to be dead. You understand? That's the way it is. We're letting people fall through the cracks on purpose. We're trying to commit genocide here, so just let us do our business. Look at the statistics. You hear very little about it on the news. Look at the statistics of how many people die out in the cold in America each year. It's amazing more don't. But how many people die prematurely from suicide or from the breakdown of their immune system? Okay, and so it's some disease they died from, when really it could have all been avoided. That's what these people don't want to happen. They don't want us to survive. They're after our lives. They talk about it openly. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. They want to depopulate the earth. They believe we are the problem, when they are we too. They're human beings. They're using CO2. But no, it's our problem. But they won't talk about suppressed clean technology, disruptive technology, planned obsolescence, any of these things that cause massive amounts of unrenewable energy to be expended. Whenever you got to throw stuff out instead of using it over and over. This shirt I'm wearing right here, I don't talk about everything. It might seem like it. I'm so candid with people. But believe me, I got stuff I don't want to talk about. It's really nobody's business. But you see this shirt I'm wearing right here? It's a beautiful shirt. You may or may not be able to make out the stripes on it. I was married in this shirt in 1984 in Redding, California. 1984. This shirt is 33 years old this year. Okay, this is high quality. It's a Ketch, Ketch. It's a Ketch shirt. If you find something in a secondhand store that's a Ketch, I recommend you buy it. Okay, because this shirt's got another 33 years on it. It's in very good condition. This is what I'm talking about. This camera I'm using right now, I had it in the shop. Thank God it's repairable. It had cost me a pretty penny. I'm very grateful to people that were able to repair it. I didn't have the wherewithal to do that. Maybe, if somebody showed me how to do it, I could probably do it. But in the meantime, these are, trade secret type things. If everybody knows everything right, we'll all be fixing our own stuff. But in some ways, you can go and watch YouTube videos and you can learn how to fix a lot of stuff if you've got the time to, and if you've got the patience. if you've got the wherewithal. And for a lot of stuff I do, I found out in my life, but a lot of stuff I just don't. I just don't even want to try to attain the expertise. It's going to take so long. It might take schooling and all this stuff. Learning about a smog system on a car, for example. But the point is, they don't want, stuff. They want planned obsolescence. They want it to go out of mode. It's about consumerism, right? If stuff don't break and they don't have to buy new stuff, well, we'll be out of business. This is the logic, right? And we all say, oh, I get that. That makes